Lena was a very beautiful lady, just as her name implies. She was loved and admired by all the maidens and young men in the village. At some point, some of the maidens were jealous of her because of her beauty and because most of the young men in the village channeled all their love and attention to her. The men were always around her to the extent that whenever she was doing anything, they would rush to assist her. Most of the men showered her with so many gifts just to get her attention, and some even fought themselves to stay away from Lena. "She is my woman, and who are you to tell me to stay away from her? She is not your wife yet," they would argue. Even with all this, Lena had eyes only for the rich Kofi. Kofi was also interested in Lena. Kofi was a very successful farmer. He had a lot of maize and was known across the neighboring villages. Whenever there was a maize festival in the village, Kofi was the one who supplied the maize. This made him very rich. Kofi showered Lena with so many beautiful gifts, and with time, Lena fell in love with him and decided to marry him. They eventually got married and started living as husband and wife. They were always enjoying themselves and having fun together. But one night, they slept and woke to discover fire all over the maize barns. They tried all they could to put out the fire, but to no avail. Kofi's barns were burned down in flames. "Oh my God, this is so unfortunate," Kofi exclaimed. This made Kofi poor, and he could no longer provide for himself and Lena, nor could he shower her with any more gifts. This made Lena fed up, and she decided to pack her bags and abandon her husband. A few days later, while walking along the village path, Lena met a very rich man named Juma. Juma was very nice to her and promised to take very good care of her. In no distant time, he started showering Lena with so many beautiful gifts. Lena loved the gifts, and after a while, she decided to move in with him. The moment she moved into his house was when she saw the real Juma. He stopped her from going out. He was always angry, shouting and screaming. He had a very terrible anger issue. Whenever he was angry, he beat Lena and destroyed everything in the house. This made Lena very scared. She lived each passing day in fear and pain. She was always crying. She cried every day and regretted ever leaving her husband Kofi. She promised herself that if she succeeded in leaving Juma's house, she would become a better person. One night, while Juma was deeply asleep, Lena quickly packed her bags and ran away from the house. She ran as fast as her legs could carry her until she got to Kofi's house. She started knocking. She knocked and knocked. Finally, Kofi opened the door. She knelt down and promised her husband that she would become a better wife. Kofi opened the door with love and asked Lena to come inside. She started going to the farm with Kofi, and after a while, they were blessed again with lots of farm produce, and things started getting better again. Kofi eventually opened a big shop in the village. People came from far and near to buy his farm produce. Lena started assisting him in the shop, and together their business grew again.